Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna basically break down the entire GTM strategy from Respond.io and how they make $1.9 million every month with this GTM system. So let's jump straight to it. Now, the way the GTM system works, fundamentally speaking, is in three specific pillars. Number one, they get traffic. From there, they generate the leads. And from there, they convert to the platform demos. The GTM seems to be fundamentally inbound, and I'll elaborate in just a moment of how that looks like. But mainly they focus on gaining the traffic towards their brand, and from there on, with the warm leads, they generate an outbound campaign. This SaaS is making $1.9 million per month, and SaaS at that nature are typically scaling. Scaling SaaS transition more to inbound to outbound rather than outbound to inbound. Now, some quite quick facts about Respond.io. They're in fact a Malaysian company. I'm a little bit more proud of that. But they are a B2B AI messaging SaaS. You guys probably have heard or used Respond.io before. They have 10,000 plus businesses actively using this service, this software as a service per month, and their annual recurring revenue is anywhere between 10 to 30 million US dollars. Their estimated monthly site visitors are anywhere between 200 to 500,000 viewers or visitors. Now let's jump straight to the funnel and see how they have broken it down. Now, when it comes to getting traffic, there are four main areas Respond.io utilizes. The first one, and is perhaps one of the most strongest one, is the SEO. If you actually go on Google and search chat automation, you will literally see Respond.io, if not at the top. Here are the sponsored results, and as you can see, Respond.io is actually at the top. Next is their LinkedIn. They are absolutely freaking active on LinkedIn, which is crazy. As you can see, they have 90,000 followers. They are very active when it comes to posting, as you can see on their company pages. They are consistently posting regarding the features, regarding the tools, and also the latest drops. Perhaps one area that they are crucially missing out on is the founder lead content, the FLC. Now, I've made an entire GTM strategy. You guys can check that out on my YouTube, where I've basically broken down the perfect SaaS GTM strategy. But there not only is there the company page that can be used to optimize LinkedIn inbound traffic, but there's other types of strategies. For example, as I mentioned earlier, the founder-led content, as well as the employee lead content. Now, more to the strategy. Meta, Respond.io is actively on Facebook and Instagram. They are consistently posting, as you can see, videos as well as graphic, and they are actively using Instagram and Facebook ads, as you can see. So this is actually, I believe, a few days ago, and until now they're still running the Meta ads. Last but not least, we got YouTube. Respond.io has 12.2 thousand subscribers on YouTube, which is actually for a SaaS quite a lot, and quite similarly to their LinkedIn, as well as the Meta, on their YouTube channel, they basically talk more about the features as well as some of the specific tools and functionalities of the platform. What I really enjoy is that they also have long form content. This is obviously in Spanish, so I can't really understand it, but long form content is an amazing strategy for a SaaS company to basically get closer to the customers. Now, from all of these four traffics, they funnel it down to a landing page. And so the landing page is basically a website. Now, if you are an e-commerce or if you're a content creator, very often your landing page is a VSL. Now, a VSL is effective for SaaS, but not typically at such a nature if you're making $1.9 million a month. So it's very typical for Respond.io to have a full-fledged website, as you can see. So this is actually a screenshot of their website. Very, very well designed. As you can see, you even show pictures of the dashboard, which is very important. So if you scroll down to the website, eventually the website will prompt you to convert on the website itself. And there you have two options. Option A, you talk to sales. And when you talk to sales, you basically hop on a call with one of their sales representatives. And then the sales call, it has the objective to talk about your pain points. In other words, get to know what your business specifically needs. And they will basically answer in such a way that their features and the product of Respond.io will help you solve the pain point. And guess what? If you're not interested, well, get ready of a wave of email marketing sequences, because the moment you literally jump on a sales call with them, you're actually considered a warm lead. So literally be ready for a hell of a marketing email sequence, literally straight to your inbox. And the email sequence has the objective for you to basically go back on the landing page, read and learn about the features again, and eventually prompt you to go through the entire cycle. But hopefully, and this is their goal as well, you'd want to book a demo. In other words, start a free trial. Now, for a lot of SaaS companies, booking a demo or starting a free trial is essentially the same thing. The only difference is whether or not you put your credit card. But typically, when you start your free trial, you're basically using the dashboard. Right? And from the dashboard, you get familiar on how the platform works, the features, the tools, the functionalities as well. And you slowly visualize and get a hands-on feeling on how the platform or software in that regard can actually benefit your business. And now that is product lead growth. And now product lead growth is basically another SaaS strategy. Now didn't put it as a primary funnel, because product lead growth doesn't really happen in the beginning. It only happens especially for SaaS businesses that are scaling, because basically what product lead growth is the users are actually actively using the dashboard, and then while they are using the dashboard, the users give the feedback towards Respond.io, and from the feedback, Respond.io will basically adjust, if not tailor the software in such a way that it will basically better suit the customer audience. And so that's basically a little bit about product lead growth. And now from this entire experience, the platform is supposed to answer your pain points in a simple, and I'm really talking about a simple UI, UX, user-friendly design, survival instinct. So let's talk about this a little bit now, because one of the most important subject when it comes to actually designing your SaaS platform is actually the user friendliness. Now we have a proclivity, right, psychologically speaking, to go for things that are much safer, that are much, like better off for our brain, that basically increases the chances of survival. And how does that basically link to the software? Now that basically means that your software needs to be as user-friendly and as simple as possible, especially for SaaS companies in compliance, or where there's a lot of documentation, where this all could be a little bit more messy. You want your software and your platform to be as simple as possible, so that deep in the subconsciousness of your users, they actually feel safe and are even willing to use your platform. Now, Respond.io offers 4 specific prices. They have the $99 a month, the $199 a month, and the $349 a month. Also for the big whales, the custom enterprise package, which could span upwards $500 to $1,000 per month. Now, if you would do the money math, right, and we assume that from the GTM system, which we found and accumulated from the internet, where they would have approximately, let's say, 350,000 views per month. Let's say they convert about 5%, and 5% is a very generous goal. 5% in my GTM system is what we aim for the clients as well. But let's say 5% from the 350,000 views, and bear in mind these are new users, that would translate into 17,500 buyers. And just imagining, and that's very often not the case, they will choose for the lowest package, which is $99 a month, and hence why the monthly recurring revenue would be at 1.732 million. Sorry, 1,732,000. Now the money math through that in 1 year is basically 17,500. Let's just put new monthly users, translates times 99 is 1.7 million, basically what we had earlier, and times 12 is about 20 million a year. And if you didn't buy, well, be ready for a wave of retargeted meta ads campaign. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, that Respond.io is actively using Meta. So not only are they using that for cold outbound, but they are actually using it for retargeting. And how does Meta retargeting actually works? So if you're familiar with Facebook ads, every time you launch an ad, there are certain pixels you have through your Facebook campaign, which is basically nothing more than a code or a specific cookie, if I'm not mistaken, that basically tracks the type of activity done by the user that has clicked on the ad. And so basically Facebook Facebook uses this type of information that from the user that clicked on the ad, and eventually that type of information is shown towards the advertiser, which is Respond.io, and you can actually retarget the same people again with a different type of retargeting campaign. The only difference is this time you can actually tailor the ads in a way that is more effective according to the specific activity done on the Facebook ad, if that makes sense. And so that's pretty simple, right? A pretty simple 8-figure GTM funnel, right? Respond.io is doing this very fantastically, but guess what? The crazy news is that they actually don't build or manage these funnels themselves. Yes, they have a sales teams. Yes, they have a marketing teams, but it is very, very, very common for SaaS companies to literally hire or outsource an entire GTM team that builds and manages the back end of the business while they focus on designing and improving the software. And that's literally what Respond.io is doing. And so if you are interested in hiring a GTM system or having a GTM team to actually build and establish and create, funnels for your business that could generate anywhere between $20,000 to $200,000 more per month for your SaaS business. In the link in the description of this video, there is actually a call button, obviously to Zoom call, and I'll have a call with you. And so if you're interested of having a GTM system for your SaaS business, if you are scaling, do reach out to me on that note. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.